and make more plays. We feed off each other's energy. So one person go make a big hit, now everybody want to make a big hit, and that's just how it goes. Somebody make a pick, everybody else want to pick. So that's just how it goes.
Money, how do you gauge progress in scrimmages like this? Is it big plays like that, or are you guys looking for other things? Like, what makes you think today was a good day?
Really just working on technique and fundamentals, working on the little things, because them help the most.
You feel like I know assignment, alignment, and effort. Felt like you were all pretty good at that today.
Oh yeah, I felt like we was the vets. I feel like they understood what was going on, and everybody had great body posture. Everybody had great techniques, fundamentals. But we just need to work on our communication, tackling, and everything else will fall in place.
Coming from the spring game to this, just in terms of, with pads on, hitting each other, I mean, have you seen a big difference from the defense from that point to now?
I mean, we hit, but I feel like we just need to be a little bit more violent. Everybody just get on one level and just come back with that savage attitude.
Money for you guys. I mean, last year you guys set the tone on defense, and you're going to look to set the tone early. You guys are going to be relied upon real early. I mean, just your mindset going into this season, trying to at least do what you did last year and build on it.
I mean, I feel like this year will be better than the next year. I feel like everything is a little bit more better than what it was just next year, especially where we at now. Knowing the stuff that we know we don't have too much to install now, because we've been working on it just to get ahead of everybody else. So I feel like this year we progressed a lot more than last year.
You guys, you obviously playing on the back end of that defense. That D-line on the front end makes such a huge difference, and with all that depth, just talk about how much easier that makes your job.
Oh yeah, that helps a lot. The D-line, they get back there, so the quarterback throwing it up, everybody get a chance to make a play. They stopping the run, so we really ain't too worried about, okay, is they gonna break loose and do we got to come up, But we always ready to tackle. Every safety we got, always ready to tackle. So.
Has it kind of set in that you guys are going to be playing on this field in less than 3 weeks?
Oh yeah, it's been set in. I've been ready for this before. I've been ready to get fall camp over just so the season can come around. But yeah, we gotta take things slow though. So it's exciting. I love the turf too, so I can't wait to play now.
We can swarm to the ball, just see where our energy level is at, and just how we play as defense, all together.
Chris, you had quite an improvement back in the spring. Big difference, and it's carried over to the fall. Just talk about your work ethic.
My work ethic was that, since I've been at AState, I haven't really been seen much as a starter, more like a backup, just like across the whole D-line, really. And, going into my last year, it was either, this is my last chance. Either got to make it count or I don't. So I decided to just leave it all out on the field. No ifs, ands, or buts, just leave it on the field. And that's all there is to it.
You guys on that defensive line have been setting the tone for this defense, and there's a lot of depth there, and a lot of ways to keep you guys fresh. Just talk about that D-line depth and how you guys are setting the tone.
See, our depth though, all of our depth can play. All the guys got capabilities of being able to play. Of us, like we can rotate, always have flesh legs. If we're tired, we can always rotate in. We're always fresh, which means we can always keep on going, always pass rush, always stop the run. The rotation's great. You can't complain about it, which is just going to help us be nothing but successful this season.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. You're good.
Appreciate it.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Get set up. We'll wait on you. We'll do all the things you want to do today.
Way to throw me off, as usual.
Just trying to keep you on your toes.
You ready?
Yes, sir. Who's got the first one?
Well, Coach, the scrimmage is in. Just your thoughts. Your thoughts of what you've seen today.
I thought there was good and bad on both. We, offensively, a big telltale sign is turnovers, and we didn't put the ball on the ground, and with the exception, I think, of one interception. We control the ball pretty well. Not nearly enough big plays, not enough explosive plays for what we're capable of, and we're still piecing together the O-line. But the tempo was not near where we wanted it to be. Of course, it wasn't a huge concern today. We're limited on bodies, and so we weren't pushing the tempo button. I think we'll try to next week. But for the first time out of live football and communicating from the sideline and doing all those things, I thought it was a decent step in the right direction. And it was close between the 1-0 and 1D all day, really, in terms of how we competed.
Your impressions of the quarterbacks too, most of the staff?
I think the thing both of them did really well today was just kind of extend plays and get out of the pocket. They ran the ball well when we asked them to. It appears as if they get a good grasp of what we're trying to do. Again, we got some polishing up to do. We're not real clean. We missed some guys that were open. We had a couple opportunities to make some 50-50 plays on balls, and we didn't. But there were a couple bright spots too. It would tell you'll go back and watch the tape, and it's never as good, never as bad as you think.
It looked like Hansen took every snap with the 1-0 line and the one skill guys. I think. I mean, is that
no? It was a rotation. They both did. Probably hard to tell which one's which because we don't really have. We were blending guys in. They both got work with the ones. We wanted to be fairly even as well. So when you go back and look, it should be pretty close to even. Maybe Justice got a few more, but both had opportunities.
I was just curious if that was any indication, if at all, of any sort of edge or anything. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. You had Blake Mack scored both the touchdowns you guys had today.
If you didn't remind me, he will.
What did you like from Blake today?
The thing about him is he's it's a move from wide out to tight end, and so we knew that his ability in space and receiver skills were going to be really good. I think the most encouraging thing for us is that he's really improved up on the line of scrimmage, and it's not something you're going to see unless you're really watching the tape. But we know he can catch balls, and he likes to catch balls. But, we need him to do that. And we talked about speed on the outside and maybe some dynamic slot guys. If he's a player that gets singled up, we need him to play really well and be hard to play one-on-one.
What's your opinion of team chemistry, particularly on the offensive side so far?
I love our team chemistry across the board. That's one of the things I like the most about this group is, they have fun together. We have a good time. They work hard. They've come to work every day. And we get good competition from both sides of the ball against each other, but it's a close-knit group, and I think that comes from staff and the strength staff. Everybody we kind of encourage that and foster that as much as we can, but it's a group of dudes that really like playing together.
What did you see from the O-line today? I mean, it looked like at times they were really struggling to block the D-line.
Yeah, well, they're going to. That's a good front, and you're right. There were times we had guys turn loose. I thought the quarterbacks did a decent job of, like I said, stepping up and extending some plays. We would have had some big shots. They weren't live today. There have been a couple big licks in the backfield that we kept off of them, but we're going to need the defensive line to play well, and we're going to need to play a lot of guys too. And I think right now we're fortunate enough to have healthy bodies across the front where we can do that.
When you scrimmage out here a week from today, would you, with regard to the quarterbacks, hope there's more separation there? I mean, would you like to give one a little bit more, or does it matter? I mean, just kind of getting close is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We may play both of those guys. There's an option where we'll play both. They're both doing a good job. They work really well together. Neither one of them has an ego. I think they both pull for each other to do well. And there's not a huge drop-off when one or the other's out there. And if it doesn't separate themselves, people better get ready to see them both, I guess.
Yeah. Is that a possibility that you get closer to now that you kind of know them a little bit better? Because there's probably two guys you pair together that probably can't handle that. You know what I mean? Buster and I've talked. We've both done it before. We both spent seasons where we played two guys. And I think if the personalities of them is similar and the dynamic doesn't really change, it's not a huge issue. They both look alike in terms of mobility and you don't have one pocket guy and one mobile guy. They're both alike. And so, you don't even have to change the game plan. It's just which one's in a rhythm, which one really settles in and gets comfortable, and time will tell us that. Cody Brown,
he's got a bruised kneecap. Happened in practice yesterday. He'll be fine.
Looks like he came out of this without anything serious.
Yeah, biggest concern is Lee Part, potential Achilles type issue. We won't know until probably Monday or Tuesday, but everybody else just bumps and bruises. We came out of it fairly healthy.
What are some of the guys on defense you thought stood out today?
I really, nobody really jumped out, to be honest. I was trying to protect our quarterbacks as best I could, and it's hard to tell. I mean, the usual suspects seemed to step up and make plays. Trent Ellis is a young guy that just seems to be kind of really showing himself. I think William Bradley King's doing the same thing. But then you had Javon come off the edge. You had big plays inside. Same guys you guys are used to seeing. I thought they played. One of the main things they did, they bottled up the big play. I mean, the offense moved the chains at times and did well. We had kind of a move the chains drill in the middle where we're kind of gauging the ability to move the chains on third down. They did a great job there, but there were not a lot of huge plays. If you looked at the explosive plays, I thought the defense kept them under control for most of the day.
Less than 3 weeks now, you guys play right here. I mean, just your mindset and the plan from this point forward.
Well, I'm glad we still got time to work. I like the way our guys are working. We've stayed, for the most part, healthy, and I think we're each day you can see some progress. It's slow, but it is steady, and we have not taken one of those days where I think we went back. And that's, not every group's able to do that, to just have steady progress. You have a big step back, frustrating day. We haven't had that. So we need more reps. We need more time. We got to get a couple guys back out on the field that aren't. But we'll have a group ready. We'll simplify if we got to, but we'll be ready.
It just felt like to me, just being at fall camp, that you guys seem to be far ahead than a year ago at this same time, and it just seems like maybe the consistency of this being your third year, your third camp.
Well, you'd like to think that's going to help, that they know exactly what we expect and they're giving it. We've got a lot of seniors across the board, probably 25, 26 seniors that are really not only on the team, but they're involved. We've had senior classes the last 2 years where guys really weren't getting reps. They were kind of behind the scenes. These guys are all involved. And I think their leadership and their ownership is what allows us to take a really business-like approach, very serious. But then, as y'all can see, we leave here and we know how to play just as much as anybody, from slip and slides to ice cream. We're getting a good balance of both, and it's been a good fall camp. And I agree. I think we're moving in the right direction. We need a little bit more time to get ready.
Did John Pascal?
Yeah, he's he had full body cramps this last week, waiting on some blood levels to come back to normal. He really feels fine, but we're just being really cautious with him. We don't want him to have a setback. So probably Monday or Tuesday he should be back playing ball. Anybody else?
I think we did some good things. We had some big plays, but we got a lot to clean up. We got too many false starts, drive killers. But I did think we overcame a couple of those, especially coming off the goal line. I thought that was good to see. We got about 15 yards on the first play. Second play, we got a holding, and we overcome third down. We were good on third down today, which is usually we're not this far along on third down yet. We got to be better in the red zone. We want touchdowns. I think we're capable of doing that. But once again, we had to overcome ourselves a little bit. So, it was a pretty good scrimmage. I thought for the most part, quarterbacks took care of the football. Ball carriers or anybody that had the ball, there wasn't any balls on the ground from that aspect. So, that's always a plus. But just the little things that we got to really, really hone in on. Our tempo will get better. There's a lot of situational football today, so sometimes that's tough to really get the tempo going. So, that's something, that we want to be, obviously. But, when you play, have a situational scrimmage, that can be tough at times.
This thing you mentioned, seemed pretty controlled. Did you do that to evaluate these guys in those certain situations, or does that kind of make the evaluation a little bit tougher when you're not kind of letting them loose and going, or just kind of what is the thought?
We wanted to put them in tough situations,
okay.
Especially the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You just kind of see where we were.
Yeah.
As an offense, we wanted to be in third and long.
Yeah.
Are we able to pick up blitzes? Are we got backs that are going to stand in there and pick it up? Is the O-line going to get us in the right protection? Which I thought for the most part, they got us in the right protection. We got beat a couple times. We got to get that part cleaned up. So yeah, we want them to be in tough situations all day, see how they respond, put them kind of with their backs up against the wall per se, and see if we were able to overcome it.
Do you feel like maybe if you sit down and watch, you'll see any separation, or do you think they're still pretty even?
I'd say it's a pretty close race.
Yeah.
Coach has talked about the possibility that you guys have discussed, that this could be a 2-quarterback system, and you've done it in the past, and he's done it in the past. Just your thoughts on that possibility and what you've learned from the past doing that.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, number one, you got to have 2 guys that are willing to do it. If we get to that point, right? That's where it starts. If they're not willing to do it, it's something that can't work. So I do think that both those kids are high character kids, and they'll handle any situation they're put in. Whether they're first string, second string, we play both, or we play one, just because that's the kind of people they are. So Right now, you know, I'm in no hurry, still in no hurry, just because it's a race, it's a competition, and they're both doing really well. You know, so it's not like we're just waiting for one to kind of, you know, fall off. That's not what's happening. They're both continuing to get better, and you know, hopefully that's what keeps happening. I want them both to be good. I want all of them to be good. You know, so and then let us make the tough decision.
Will you be in a hurry a week from today?
No, I won't be in a hurry. I think they're both getting plenty of reps. You know, they're getting, you know, the majority of the reps, and you know, I'll continue to make sure that they're both ready to play. And you always got to have two guys ready to play anyway. You know, so.
Is it possible that you reach a point in time where you want one guy to be getting more reps than the other, possibly? Or?
Yeah, definitely. You know, especially if, you know, somebody does win the job. You know, somebody wins the job, and that guy's going to get, you know, 75% of the reps compared to, you know, 50-50. So, yeah, we'll eventually probably get to that point. You know, if we play them both, we'll have them both ready to play.
As an offensive coordinator, how much does it help you guys as far as getting prepared for a season, going against this defense day in, day out, because it's a pretty good defense?
Yeah, no question. I hope that I don't know if we'll play a defense of line that's as physically imposing, except for maybe one opponent, but that D-line is a legitimate defensive front. We've got great secondary, great linebackers, we're extremely well-coached defense that have played a lot of football together. I mean, very physical. They run to the ball. It's only going to make us better. You know, so that's good. I mean, that's what we want. You know, we want to go against. We want them to be good. Heck, we want the ball back. You know, so. But it's good to go against those guys every day, and it's good to bounce ideas off their staff, and you know, on the defense side of the ball, and vice versa. You know, so.
Thoughts on Blake Mack so far?
He's going to be a good one. Yeah. He's going to be a good one. He's fun to watch. He's exciting. He brings a lot of energy you know, to what we want to do. There's not a lot of guys that have his skill set across the country. He's a big kid that can run, great body control. We want him to be more, you know, better in the run game, but you know, if he's not, we'll figure out another way to make sure he's successful.
Has he exceeded expectations so far?
Blake's a really good football player. I'm glad he's on our team. He's a rare dude.
Coach, you know, having skill position depth like you have, I mean, you got playmakers at wide receiver, at running back by committee, things like that. The benefit of having that with as many snaps as you guys are going to play, with the tempo that you're going to play, I mean, this team's kind of unique there with all the playmakers and the ability to run people in and out.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we feel good about pretty much any wide receiver that we throw out there. Same thing at running back. So it's kind of the next up man mentality. You know, you got to come to practice every day. Don't get hurt. You know, don't get hurt. And, compete every single day. You know, if you get injured, that's one thing, but you can't get nicked up right now with the depth that we have.
I'm good, my man.
Good to see you again. Okay.
Absolutely.
These offensive guys are talking about how good your side looked. I mean, do you agree, or are you seeing things that you still want to shore up and everything?
Yeah, we saw a lot of good things. You know, I can't wait to get in there and watch the film, obviously. But, you know, we're trying to make steps each and every day. And I think, you know, today, I was using today as a practice. I wanted to see the guys go out and compete themselves in the position, because there's a lot of position battles going on. And then I wanted to get some work at, you know, some of our coverages that we're trying to get perfect is what we're trying to do. And so, you know, if we busted it one time, I came around back and called it again just to give them another chance to get it right. Obviously, our defensive line is a factor out there. We didn't. Looks like we handled the run game pretty good. We got some work to do on our discipline now. Our discipline's not very good with our hands and you know, we got a hands to the face call, and I think we were holding the corner a couple times, so we got to get those things shored up to you know, for us to, so we can get off the field.
Coach, can't help but notice some of the newcomers and some of the young guys out there, you know, getting to play, a guy like DJ Edmonds and some of those guys, just some of the newcomers and new guys that have kind of maybe caught your eye early on.
Right. You know, that was our approach today. You know, we know that Bo Centimore can play, you know, and we know that Whalen can play, and there's other guys also, but you know, what we try to get done is we want to get some young guys reps and see where they are in our system right now, see where they are in camp and so forth. So it was good. I mean, B.J. Evans did a good job. Trent Ellis did a good job. it's hard for me to comment much more on the others because I got to go in there and watch the film. But I did happen to notice BJ and Trent out there a few times. I wish Trent would have made that pick on that pass on the sideline. But we didn't get enough turnovers today. We got to talk about that. We only got one, and no fumbles. So the offense did a great job of ball security. We got to do a better job of trying to get it away.
Any of those young guys, those true freshmen, you think are in line to play just yet, or are they still working toward that?
Well,
Have you made any decisions, I guess?
We're still making decisions, but I would expect right now, I would really think that Trent Ellis and BJ definitely probably will be on the travel roster strictly because of our depth at those two positions. I don't know. I have to go in there and see what's going on with Will and see how he did today. But we're so deep with that defensive line, and we got to film evaluate him.
Coach, it seems like the attitude that's carried over from last year that they take every play personal on defense. I mean, don't want to give up any big plays, no points. You can just tell that this is a very stingy defense mentality.
Right. Well, that's what we want to do, and that's what we're trying to preach. We're trying to get better down here, and outside of a play, one play where we busted the coverage. I put them in that situation because the same thing happened in the spring game. I wanted to see if this was a different guy this time, and I could tell that he was upset that he gave it up, but outside of that, we were pretty good down there. Now we weren't as successful on third down, but a lot of that has to do again. We're trying to look at some stuff and look at some different coverages and some fronts and so forth, and looking at guys. So I don't put a lot of play into so much emphasis into how successful we were on it. Obviously, we want to win that, but I just want to move forward with us schematically, and are we getting better as a player? And then next Saturday, when we scrimmage again, it'll be more like what we're actually going to call in the game.
Wagner and Viner at that corner spot, where's that at? I mean, is he kind of pulled away? Is there separation there? Where would you say?
They both have work to do. So I'm not ready to step up. Both of them had MAs today, and they got to get better at what they're doing. They're both competing for that job. I would expect Jeremy Smith will probably be on the travel roster as well. The new freshman corner we got. Still got a lot of learning to do. And then Kyle Martin came in this week. Came in a few days ago and was able to get a little bit today. And so I'm anxious to get on film and see what he looked like.
You hit guys hit pretty well with your freshman D-backs, didn't you?
Yeah. I think we did. I really do. I do think it. So far, it looks like we hit a home run with all those guys.
Kyle Wilson seems to be one of the guys that's always finding the ball. Yeah. What's he bringing to your linebacker position right now?
Well, he brings some physicality, and obviously he can run. I mean, it's almost like a bigger Kyrie out there, if you will, because Kyrie really likes to hunt, and Kyle is really kind of mimicking that, except Kyle's 225, 230 pounds, and he's doing a good job. I'm anxious to get in there once again and watch these guys and see how those things are working out.
How are your other linebackers holding up?
Well, good. Tajay Chambers is doing a good job. Today he gave up a play there in the red zone that he's got to get corrected. He's been the last couple of days at practice. He's done a really good job. He's moved forward, I think. And Q Heath has done. Q Heath has been consistent. And so those three positions, I'm going to watch the film, see how it shakes out, and by the end of next Saturday, we'll kind of have a better idea about our depth chart.
Anybody good?
What did you think of the way you played today?
I thought it was all right. Got the ball where I needed to a couple times, and then there was a couple times where I needed to get out of my hand. But overall, I thought we did pretty well.
The coaches have talked something about a possible two-quarterback system. What are your thoughts on that?
I just do what the coaches tell me, to be honest. I just can do what I do in practice, and other than that, I don't have much say in it. So, whatever they roll out there, we'll do.
In this situation, it's pretty controlled. And so your mentality, being in a competition, trying to do what you do with it being so controlled, how do you handle that?
It's tough. Coach puts us in different situations during practice, so we just really have to pay attention to execute on that. But like you said, it's kind of all controlled, so it does make it a little bit different, but we just got to go out there and play.
Playing every day against this defense, I mean, obviously you've traveled, you've seen some good defenses, but this is a pretty good defense. Just how that helps you guys as an offense.
That helps a lot. I mean, pass rush, and then from sideline to sideline. They say our offense has speed. People do talk about our defense, but our defense has just as much speed over there. So they're really good, and they only help us.
How do you feel like this offense is progressing here so far in fall camp? And then obviously with you guys taking the majority of the snaps, you know, being able to see that, how do you feel like the progress has been?
I think it's gone really well. In the spring, we're a little bit slower. Had a lot of missed assignments. Right now, it's really about the little things. I mean, everybody's on the right routes. You know, linemen are blocking the right guys for the most part, and then we're trying to get the ball to the right spot. But I think we're being really efficient and eliminating a lot of the mistakes we had in the spring.
It seems like that over the summer, the PRPs and everything that you guys did together played a huge role, because it seemed like when fall camp opened, you guys were ready to roll. It didn't seem like you were behind the 8 ball at all.
Yeah. See, the PRPs impressed me more than fall camp has impressed me. Just, I've never been a part of something like that. And we've been practicing every Tuesday and Thursday, the exact same thing we're doing in fall camp, I mean, without the coaches. So, I mean, we've done routes on air, we've done 7-on-7s, team. We've done all of that. So, just fall camp was just a continuation of that.
What's maybe one of the things that you feel like you want to improve upon as we get ready to head towards a game less than 3 weeks from today here? What do you feel like some of the things you want to improve upon before then?
Honestly, just a lot of situational things, knowing when to do what, and also, you know, get on the same connection as the offensive line as far as pass protection and all that, knowing when I need to get the ball out of my hands whenever they are blitzing, but it is picked up. I do have an idea of that, but I just want to be, you know, even more crisp on all that.
That's kind of something that the average person wouldn't notice, is how much you guys have interchanged that offensive line and what that does to your tempo, and then just how you guys run as an offense. That being able to overcome that, because fall camp, I mean, we've had guys go down. You've got a freshman, you know, snapping the ball at center at times and things like that. Just talk about that aspect of things.
That's huge. We do rotate a lot of guys in practice, and honestly, they really have done a pretty good job. But I mean, if we don't get the offensive line right and they're not blocking the right guys, I mean, the ball may reach my hands, but the play's over at that point. But I think people have done a good job in camp, and everything does start up front.
What's it kind of been like today, you know, having to kind of rotate in from, you know, 1-0 to 2-0, and just kind of having maybe a little bit of, like when I was talking to Chad, a little bit of the tempo kind of broken up. Did that make things a little bit hard for you?
A little bit, at the same time it shouldn't. I think we moved the ball pretty well today, but then again, we do run up tempo, which is a lot of getting in a rhythm, and so kind of coming on and off the field, and you're not sure when you're going back in exactly. Plays a little part in it, but you know, reads are still the same, defense is still the same, so we just got to go out there and continue to make plays.
Are you comfortable kind of with what the coaches are doing with this quarterback battle, you know, not really naming a starter and looking like they're still not going to name a starter for maybe another week or so?
I don't know. Chad and I are just hanging out and practicing. So, you know, the coaches haven't spoken a lot on that. And, you know, I think we both competed well today and did pretty good jobs.
Right, my alma mater. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this. Obviously, we talked with Coach Anderson. We talked with Coach Faulkner. You know, they've talked about the possibility of this. I mean, you guys are neck and neck right now, that there could be a 2 QB race, and they've done it in the past. Just your thoughts on the battle as it is right now, and maybe your thoughts on if that is a possibility.
Well, that's not up to me, you know. So I'm up for whatever they decide, and you know, just add whatever I can to the team. You know, the pretty basic answer, I know, but truly, like, whatever's best for the team. And yeah, and if it's a 2 quarterback system, then so be it. You know, I think me and Justice are completely ready to handle that if that is the case, and we've been growing as friends ever since, you know, we got here. So I think we're gonna treat it like, you know, men, and accept whatever they tell us.
His defense is no doubt pretty nasty, and they come at you hard every day. Is it starting to slow down for you at all?
I mean, I'm used to it. I mean, I went against the Aaron Donalds, and you know, I've had pretty good defenses against me in college so far, and so yeah, I mean, it is though. I'm getting used to it. I'm seeing what they're doing each day and learning from it, and so once I get comfortable in that, it's starting to click for me.
How difficult, I asked Justices, but how difficult is it when you're in a scrimmage but it's so controlled like it is? I mean, in a lot of ways, they're setting you up to fail.
Yeah.
How difficult is that?
Yeah, it's difficult. You know, with our offense being, you know, up-tempo, you succeed when you're running down the field, making them get set, and, when you don't have that after a big play or such, it makes it hard to succeed. But I feel like we handled it pretty well.
I think it's something that maybe the common fan wouldn't see, but this offense is predicated on getting that first down, and that sets the tempo to everything. And in a day like today, people don't see that because it's not how it's being set up.
Right.
I mean, you guys as an offense, how do you feel like the progression is right now where we are currently in fall camp?
I feel like we've progressed well. But like you said, our bread and butter is having defense be out of place, and so when you bring the ball back to the same place every time, they're in place. So after that first down, you don't have them off balance, and so it was tough sometimes to get things rolling when you weren't moving the ball down the field.
Of course, the familiarity too for the defense. It's not as if they don't know what you're about to do. A lot of people don't understand that aspect too. You guys are together every day. In a lot of cases, they're calling out what you're going to do before you do it.
Definitely.
But again, what does that do for you guys moving forward when you're playing against defenses who have no clue?
Oh yeah, I think they definitely know what we're doing. I mean, especially when we run repeat calls, they know our calls, and so even when they did know our calls, we still succeeded a few times. So with that being said, that brings confidence to us when a defense won't know at all what we're doing. So I think it's something to take forward and be confident in.
What do you feel like is maybe something you want to get done before fall camp is over? Maybe something you want to improve upon, maybe something you want to work on before camp is up?
Just keep giving my guys chances. I know we had a few PI calls on the outside, and that was a lot because me and Justice, threw the ball in a place where they could go up and show that they were being held or so forth. So I think that's the biggest thing for me is we have the athletes, just put it up, let them make the play. It doesn't have to be a perfect ball every time.
How would you, as far as today went, how would you assess your performance personally as well as the offense as a unit?
What do you want, a letter grade?
Whatever you're comfortable with, man.
Well, we did really well, I think. We won the ones today. The offense did over the defense. I'd say we're in the B range somewhere. We have a lot of room for improvement. We might need a little tutor, a little tutor session tonight. And so we'll get there. But I feel like we did pretty well, moved the ball, made big plays, and didn't turn the ball over. So
there's no doubt you have a great ability to scramble. One play sticks out to me is play broke down, you take off, Carbonell trying to chase you down, gets a hold of you. Looked like you were breaking free of that. Do you wish the coaches would have went ahead and let that play go a little longer?
Yeah, I mean, it's two-hand touch, and it was only one hand. So I get it, they're protecting us, but it was frustrating in the moment.
Do you think that ability to scramble is going to kind of help separate you later on
from just
in this quarterback race?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it definitely adds something to my game. So if the coaches believe that that's an element that can separate us, then so be it.
With these playmakers that you got now that you're in camp and getting to actually utilize these guys, just your impression of the depth. I mean, there's so much depth at wide receiver. There's a running back by committee. I mean, just your overall assessment of what you feel like these playmakers, these skill position guys are at right now.
Yeah, I mean, tons of weapons, tons of depth. One guy is tired, taps out. We got a guy right there that can make the same play. So it's definitely been impressive and probably a deeper team than I've ever been a part of.
One position on the field that a lot of people felt was underutilized last year was the tight end. Today, 2 touchdowns from the tight end.
Yeah.
What's it like having a guy like Blake Mack that can go up and get anything over the middle?
Oh, I mean, it makes throwing so much easier. You just put it in his radius, which is a huge, strong radius, and he'll make the play for you. So, again, just giving a guy a chance, putting it in his vicinity, and he'll make the play for you.